the growing underground scene of amateur street prostitution in Tokyo. Hello, viewers. Welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving deep into a topic you won't find in any guidebook about Japan. The shiny neon lights of Tokyo might mesmerize you. But what if I told you there's a darker, unseen world hiding just beneath those glowing signs? That's right. Today's topic is the explosive rise of amateur street prostitution in Tokyo's busiest districts. But before we dive in, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Give this video a thumbs up, and smash the notification bell to keep up with our deep dive discussions on Japan's hidden realities. The rise of amateur street prostitution in Tokyo. When people talk about the sex industry in Asia, the conversation usually drifts toward places like Thailand or the Philippines, their infamous red light districts, and the open nature of their sex trades are practically legendary. But, did you know that Tokyo and Osaka, Japan's gleaming metropolises, are seeing a growing wave of amateur women engaging in street prostitution? Yes, Japan, a country that's usually portrayed as polished, clean, and orderly. Beneath that veneer, things are changing, and fast. In Tokyo's buzzing nightlife areas, it's not professional sex workers or shady Yakuza-linked operations leading the charge. Oh no, it's regular, everyday women, and it's happening right in the open. You heard me, women with no prior experience, selling their bodies on the streets. The new face of Japan's sex trade. Historically, Japan's underground sex industry was tightly controlled by organized crime. The Yakuza had their hands in nearly everything, from hostess bars to massage parlors. And let's be real, the police were well aware of it, and maintained a sort of uneasy truce, keeping things in check. But now, what's erupting in Tokyo's streets is a whole new beast. We're talking amateur women, working on their own terms, with no pimps, no Yakuza, and no one taking a cut. Some are still tied to shady men behind the scenes, maybe a host boyfriend who encourages them to hustle, but many are flying solo, navigating this dangerous world by themselves. The tragic allure of host clubs and oshikatsu. So, why are so many young women in one of the world's richest countries turning to street prostitution? The answer is as shocking as it is depressing. Host clubs and oshikatsu. Host clubs are flashy bars where good-looking men pamper female customers, showering them with compliments, affection, and, well, lies. It's a fantasy world where the illusion of love has a steep price like rally. In the past, middle-aged women with deep pockets were the primary clientele. But recently, hosts have shifted their focus to a younger demographic, young, naive women who are emotionally manipulated into draining their savings on these pretty faces. At first, it seems innocent enough. For just a few hundred yen, they can enter this glittering world. But soon, the charges rack up. What starts as a fun night out becomes a crushing debt, sometimes reaching tens of thousands or even hundreds of thousands of dollars. And what do they do to repay that debt? First, they might try working in a Kayabakura cabaret club, or even enter the regulated sex industry. But many quickly realize that street prostitution offers something those establishments don't: freedom. No middlemen, no agencies skimming off the top. They can set their own prices, make their own rules. And that freedom? It comes with a hefty risk. The brutal economics of modern street prostitution. Picture this: young women, many barely out of their teens, earning anywhere between $50 to $100 per customer, night after night. And here's the kicker: some of these women are raking in thousands, if not tens of thousands of dollars a month. No bosses, no required drinking with sleazy customers, no restrictive schedules. To them, street prostitution is the perfect way to finance their host club, addiction, or other luxuries they can't afford otherwise. The reality is, for some, this isn't about survival or escaping a life of poverty. Many come from middle-class backgrounds, have steady day jobs, or even attend university. Yep, let that sink in. Some of these women aren't the stereotypical victims of poverty or abuse. Many of them just want to live beyond their means, caught up in a society obsessed with image and status. What are the authorities doing? The police are well aware of what's happening. But this new wave of street prostitution is incredibly difficult to control. Why? Because it's done between consenting individuals, often without any tangible evidence of a crime. Unlike in brothels or hostess bars, there's no third party to prosecute, just women and their customers, slipping in and out of the shadows. And if you think this is just a Tokyo or Osaka issue, you'd be dead wrong. This trend is spreading like wildfire across Japan's major cities. So, what's being done? Well, not much, frankly. The authorities are stuck in a legal gray zone, unsure of how to tackle a problem that's slipping through the cracks of traditional law enforcement. A global perspective. If that's not shocking enough, consider this in places like Bangkok. The cost of prostitution has skyrocketed due to post-pandemic inflation. In Thailand's famous go-go bars, it's now common to pay upwards of $300 for an hour of fun, a stark contrast to the good old days, when you could get away with spending under $100. And yet, here we are, in Tokyo, one of the most expensive cities in the world, where you can now buy sex for a fraction of that price. Imagine that. Japan, a country synonymous with high standards of living, offering sex cheaper than Bangkok. If that doesn't make you raise an eyebrow, what will? The harsh reality. Every night, dozens of women stand on the bustling streets of Tokyo, selling their bodies for less than what many tourists pay for dinner. These women aren't hidden away in dark alleys, they're out in the open, walking among the salarymen and tourists. The same streets where you're likely to enjoy your evening out are the same streets where this underground market is thriving. It's easy to look at Tokyo's gleaming skyscrapers and pristine streets and forget that, like any major city, it has its own dark underbelly. But once you see it, you can't unsee it. And that's a wrap for today's video. What do you think? Is this the Japan you imagined? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to subscribe, hit that like button, and ring the notification bell. Stay tuned, because we've got a lot more stories that go beyond the picture-perfect image of Japan you've been sold. Until next time, stay curious, stay critical, and we'll see you in the next video.